It should do the countdown.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Thelma and Louise Roadshow. Coming to you live tonight from the Quilt Lady in downtown Kingfisher, Oklahoma.
Hello, everyone.
We were invited to be guest hosts tonight of the show. Kind of how we became Thelma and Louise. As you see, Terry, otherwise known as Thelma, Joyce, otherwise known as Louise. We used to come during the winter. We would come every week to pick up whatever we'd purchased on the Facebook Live, and kind of got nicknamed by Dawn that we were the travelers, because I live in Moore. Terry lives in Oklahoma City. And so we'd drive into town to pick up whatever we'd bought on the Facebook Live. And so she kind of nicknamed us Thelma and Louise, and it just kind of stuck. And so now we're Thelma and Louise. We went on retreat. When we went on retreat, you know, we were all Thelma and Louise to everybody. They finally figured out who we really were. So
we do have names.
Yeah. The Quilt Shop is more than a fabric shop. We offer long arm quilting. They do binding. Bill does machine repair. He also does scissor sharpening. Those of you who watched a few weeks ago, he did a demo on the scissor sharpening, which was really impressive. Had no idea what all was involved in scissor sharpening. Very involved. Hello, Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl.
We also do embroidery. They have lots and lots of AccuQuilt products, and they also, if you're not a quilter, they'll make a quilt for you. You bring in your idea and what you have in mind, and they will make it for you. Hey, Jane. Hey, Mary.
Remind them to share.
Don't forget to share. If you're new to watching how it works, everybody that shares gets into a prize wheel. Next week, you'll be on, and they'll spin the prize wheel, and how many ever shares we have turns into dollars. There wasn't one last week, but the winner the week before was actually me, and I've already used my gift card to purchase bag making supplies. Yeah. So it's really a great thing. Mine was $38. So, you know, just by watching week in and week out and being here, you have to be present when they spin the wheel. So tune in next week.
Go out there and share. Share to all your friends.
And family. Hello, Pat. How are you? From Bison, Oklahoma. Yes, it rained here as well a little bit ago. Hi, Sheila.
She shared twice.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We forgot to talk about it, but will you guys talk about the classes?
Okay, the Quilt Lady has started doing classes. Their website has the list of all the different classes. So if you're interested in doing a class, log into the quilt-lady.com and see what classes are available. Cherie is getting ready to share a link in the comments, so you can go out there and see. But there's like several bag making classes, a jelly roll rug class, a rag quilt class,
and the Tin Sisters class.
And then the Tin Sisters coming up. If you've never seen the Tin Sisters, it's very neat. Terry and I had seen it at a sit and sew. There was a lady that was actually doing it, and it's basically like an interfacing, and you sew your blocks on there. They're like, they come in different sizes.
It's like
one
a
and a half-
grid.
yeah, like a
template
grid.
of a grid, and you put the blocks on that, and then,
And then
sew it together.
sew it, and then flip it and sew it and do the next row.
Let you excellent points on
Hey,
all
honey,
of your squares.
welcome to the show. And so that way everything's lined up, because you're doing it at a row and a column at a time, and so it really makes a neat quilt. A lot of the pixelated, those of you who've seen like the pixelated rows and butterfly and different stuff, that's all done that way. The ones that they're going to do is like a vintage, like a vintage block, and then what is the other block, Cherie?
The block party.
The block
There's
party.
Vintage Charm and block party.
Vintage Charm and block party are the two that we're doing. Hey,
The closest.
Janice.
And I did not get slides together.
Okay, we don't have slides on that,
On the website.
but the information on the 10 Sisters is on the website, so go check it out.
In the newsletter.
And it's in the newsletter. I got mine last week.
We got our first newsletter.
So check that out. It has all the information too. I got all excited because I had told Terry that I wanted to see it, since we had seen a lady doing it but not been trained. So we were excited to see they're coming. Next up is the winter retreat. It's coming up February 22nd through 26th. It's going to be at Call Lake. Terry and I have gone to. This will be the third retreat.
We're signed up for the one in November, which
is sold out. Yeah. This one, there's a link in the comments. Cherie's putting a link down there. There's the links if you're interested in putting a deposit down and signing up. I believe it's $100 deposit to sign up. And the cost did go up a little bit, but that's just because of the cost of food and everything. Unfortunately, everything else. So it's still a great deal because everything's included. It includes all your meals, all your bedding. You just show up with your projects and ready to have fun.
Machine and ready to sew.
And we had a blast last time.
Yeah, we've been to a couple of retreats where you had to drag everything with you, like your bedding and quilts and pillows and all that kind of stuff.
Towels.
So when it comes to packing, it's nice to
Yes.
have it all inclusive this way.
Yes.
So
A lot less load.
plus, it's a lot of fun. We met a lot of new people and friends at our last retreat. And
Yep.
We're looking forward to seeing them again in November and
Making new friends.
making new friends because there's going to be new people there.
Yeah,
so.
some of the returns and some new. When we were asked to be the guest host, they said they wanted us to do a short little demo. And Terry and I got together and tried to decide, okay, what is something that we could demo that would be useful, that maybe somebody hadn't seen, and that was quick. So we came up with the Sew Organizer. I had not seen it until we went to the Oklahoma City Quilt Show here, was it June, July?
Yeah, June.
A few months ago. It takes 2 fat quarters and some interfacing is all it takes. The kit comes with the frame. It's a metal frame that you slide the material on. Until Friday, the Quilt Lady has their fat quarters on sale, 25% off. So that's a great deal. Great way to pick out some really cute coordinating prints and put them together. So I'm going to walk through how to make it. So and I can't give you the measurements because this is not a free pattern. You have to buy the pattern. So I can't give you the measurements, but so this is your front piece, and you're going to make your first pocket. And for your first pocket, you fold it down, and you're going to stitch across the top, and then you're going to stitch where where the crease of the fold is, and that's going to make this first pocket right here. And that's what my pins are hitting on that pocket. So you're going to make that first pocket. See, then on the chart is where I marked the line, and then I sewed across there and sewed across the top. Okay, pocket 2, you're going to put interfacing on it and fold it in half. No, that's not it. That was this. Keep going.
Here.
That's me sewing it together. There you go.
There you go.
Okay, pocket 2, you're going to interface it and you're going to fold it in half, and you make a 2 1/4 inch line from each side, from right and left. And then when you lay it on top of your front and your pocket 1 and 2, you're going to start on this side, stitch all the way around, and then you're going to stitch where these 2 1/4 inch lines are. It's hard to do it backwards here. You're going to stitch on the 2 1/4 inch line, and that makes these little divisions where the pockets are, where the stuff is on the different levels.
Want me to hold it?
Yeah, that's good. Okay, then on pocket 3, there's pocket 3. You mark the center of the pocket 3, and then you sew a casing. The kit, along with the frame, comes the elastic, and there's this little tag that says the company name that you sew into it, and it comes in the kit as well. So you're going to sew and make a casing for the elastic right here, and then the elastic that's provided in it, you run it through it, and you're going to sew it in on this end, and then you're going to stretch it across and sew it on this end. You have your center mark, and so that tells you where to gather it to.
Am I in the right place?
There you go.
Okay.
And so you gather it together, and you sew down the center of that. You're going to sew down that center line, and that kind of connects so that it's all together in one piece.
It makes these pockets right here, and the gathering lets you have some give.
Yeah.
So you can put like a
Rotary
spool thread,
cutter.
your rotary cutter, or whatever, but it gives you a little bit of give on the bottom for you to put larger things in.
And these are really great to have multiple of them by your machine, so that you're not knocking stuff off the front of your machine and crawling around on the floor trying to find it. Okay, next you're going to do the pin cushion, and what you do with it is, it says to use scrap batting or scrap material, and you stuff it inside of there, and you're going to sew it onto this gathered piece right there. So you're going to sew it, and so you have all your raw edges right there. And then you take your stabilized back of it. This is going to be stabilized, and you put it over the whole top of the whole thing, like the picture's showing you. You clip it along there, and then you do a 1/4 inch seam right across there, and then you do seams along the sides. Each side you're going to do a seam, and you leave the top open because the top is how you flip it. And so when you flip it out, then it becomes,
It'll enclose
the
those things
sides.
sticking out will already be gathered in there, so it'll be a smooth edge, and when you sew a seam down the side, it'll be enclosed.
And so your pin cushion is not a raw edge. It's caught between the front, the interfacing, and the back.
See, it
And
slips over.
it just slides over there. And it makes it real handy because you can take it to sit and sew. You can take it to retreat. You can, like I said, use it beside several machines.
Speaking of sit and sew, that's one of the classes that can be signed up
Okay,
for. It's
Cherie's
not
telling
really
us to be
class.
sure and tell you that one of the classes is
Not
sit and
really a
sew.
class,
It's $10 a day, and is it every day or any day?
It's on Wednesday.
Wednesdays, $10,
10 to 4.
10 to 4,
Yes.
and they don't need to sign up, right?
They don't have to. You
Okay.
can sign up at the door, or and they start on August 24th.
Okay, it starts August
Start.
24th.
And they can reserve their spot online or not.
Okay, we can reserve your spot online or not. So that's brand new, hot off the press. So, but this makes it great because it encloses it all in there. Let me do my part. So the items, we were going to go over the items that were used in making it. So the first item is the wool pressing mat. And if you want the wool pressing mat, it's mine number 2. And it's $53.99. These are great. I have one. My mom bought me one a few years ago, and I love it. And in case you don't know, if they get stained, mine got scorched, and I put Dawn soap on it, ran the bathtub just lightly full of water, squished it around with my hand, took it out, leaned it along the edge of the tub so it could drip. Looks brand new.
Really? Mine
Got rid of all that.
It got rid of all the-
scorch.
It got rid of all the scorching.
Did you show how much the pattern was and do mine one?
The pattern. Let's go back to the pattern. The very beginning. Mine one is the pattern. It's so organized. It's a Shabby Fabric endorsed pattern, and those of us quilters know who that is. Like I said, it takes 2 fat quarters or a large scrap and 1/3 of a yard of light fusible interfacing.
It's called So Organized. Jane.
Yeah.
This is Dawn calling.
Okay.
Hi, Dawn.
Hi, Dawn.
We
Okay.
miss you.
Yep.
You all miss.
Okay, number 3. What was number 3?
Scissors.
Nothing's best friends.
She's showing the scissors.
Okay,
Oh, what did I miss?
these Karen K. Buckley scissors, they are awesome little scissors. They have a serrated point, and they work really, really good to get down into the little fine points when you're trying to trim something. Definitely love these. They are mine number 3. They're $21.99. Okay, flatter. Flatter is a new item. Terry and I found out about 3 months ago. About 3 months ago. How it works in conjunction with Best Press. Most of us quilters know Best Press, but flatter comes in many, many wonderful, wonderful scents. Smells so good.
Could you tell them that we do have some inclement weather?
We do have some inclement weather, Matthew, so that's probably what's causing it. It's been storming and raining really hard. The flatter, how we use it. Yes, the pattern
Mine
was
number one
one.
is the pattern.
Yes.
Could you remind them to be sure to use the word mine?
Yeah, be sure and use the word mine when you claim something. It makes it easier for them to find who commented. The flatter, how it works different than Best Press is it comes in many, many wonderful scents. Terry and between us, we've used all the different scents, and I don't know which one's my favorite. Do you?
Yeah, Celebration's my favorite.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. Celebration. So we happen to have a lot of that here. So.
Yeah. Lacey, I think, is my favorite. So it's a little bit different smell.
They're all different.
They're all different, but how they work is you spray it on the seam and then iron it, and it just flattens it out. Versus the Best Press kind of distorts it a little bit sometimes. So how we use the flatter is we use the flatter as we're piecing, and then once it's pieced and it's the whole block, whole quilt, then we use Best Press on it to shaping it up. But this flatter, it's amazing how it just, and it really works well if you're doing something that has a lot of seams and conjunctions where they come
points
together
that you want to meet,
and points sharp and stuff. Great stuff. I can't say enough about it. It's great stuff.
I'm on my 7th or 8th bottle
Oh,
already.
yeah. Me too. It's mine number 4, and it's Terry's favorite flavor.
Yep.
Her scent today.
Celebration.
Aliso irons. That's mine number 5. Right now we don't have one in stock, but we can get them in. I actually have the pink one. My husband bought it for me for Christmas a few years ago, and I absolutely love it. It gets super hot, and it lifts up off the ironing board, which is kind of neat. You just need to make sure you remember when you go someplace else and you're using their iron that theirs doesn't. Terry and I both have the travel irons that we take to retreat, and they get amazingly hot.
I was so surprised when I first used it, that being a small iron, that it got as hot as
it fits
my
in the palm.
1800 watt.
Yeah.
Big
iron,
iron,
your big iron
at home.
Yeah, it fits in the palm of your hand. I have a purple one, of course, and she has a yellow one.
Mine's yellow.
So number 5, if you'd like mine, number 5. And if you want a different color than pink, let them know, because it comes in turquoise, pink, yellow, and purple, I believe.
Turquoise. Pink. Yeah, purple.
Yeah.
4 colors.
Yeah. Binding clips. Those of you who are friends with me see all the bags that I've been making. These binder clips are a lifesaver. You think, 100, I don't need 100. To do a bag, you need 100 to go just around one side of it. These are great. This comes in a little vintage tin.
5 or 6 of them are on the floor.
Yeah.
So.
I think there's several on this floor. So we're making ourselves at home and trashing out the studio. Okay. I'm an Aurifil lover. That's all I piece with is Aurifil 50 weight. It's great because it doesn't shed as much, and so it's easier on your machine. You don't, we all forget to clean out our machine, and you'll open it up and you wonder why it's having issues, and you open it up and go, oh my goodness. But Aurifil doesn't lint as bad, so best thread. And we have all different colors. This is mine number 7, $14.99. And if you want a color other than this one is 1133 orange. If you want a different color, there is a whole wall of thread over there that has every color in the rainbow, including variegated thread. And when I make my jelly roll rugs, I use their RFL variegated. I like that because, you know, when you're making a jelly roll rug, you're going usually from a light fabric to a dark fabric, and the thread kind of does that too. And so it kind of blends in and just give it a dimension that looks really cool.
And they have a certain color. She said, Cherise said, if you had a color in mind, you could just, you know, call her and get together on, you know, figuring out a color. But they do have a whole collection of colors in the Orifil thread.
And I believe they have some other weights than the
50 weight.
50 weight pressing sheet. I have several of these. These are awesome. It says mine number 10, $12.99. Anytime you're doing interfacing stabilizer to make sure you don't stick it on your beautiful iron that you love, you put the pressing sheet down. Terry's going to tell you in a minute what she uses them for on top of that. But I have several. I have one in my retreat bag. I have one in my sewing room. I have one by my iron. So can't have too many. Did we skip the pin?
Oh,
I think it was number 8. I'll do it. Friction pins. These are the kind that are the markers. They're my favorite. And it's mine number 8. And I believe they're $3.99. Mine number 8, $3.99. And they work really well because they're a wider point. And so like when I'm marking after my fabric's been quilted to make my bags, it makes it where it actually shows up, where when it's a fine point, it kind of blends in with the density of the quilting. So I like the fact that this is a wider tip and it can show through. And it irons off. Yes, thank you. And it irons away. I've never had any issues with it not ironing away. Mm-hmm. Mine number 9 is safety pins.
did they disappear too?
The safety pins, when you're running your elastic through, you can use a bodkin or a safety pin. I just grab a safety pin. It's a lot easier.
Those are huge.
I know, those are big ones.
Well, I need some of those.
I'm not sure they fit through my casing.
I don't know. They'd be good for casing, but they're $1.99.
So that's mine number 9, $1.99.
Am I on?
Sheree, are you with us? Yeah. You notice our shirts are
nice
retreat shirts.
Our retreat shirts.
Yeah. And the aprons. Thank you to my husband for heat pressing them, and for Don's Bill for giving us the logo.
I was going to show. I'm one of those that every time I see something that I like and I think is useful, I'm the first one that'll go, I can make that. And so I saw this, didn't know, they didn't have any patterns when we first saw it. They just had one of these sitting there, so I didn't know where
the
to get
dimensions or anything.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it. So I went home and I said, that looks like a stand, just like one of these that you can buy that's a plastic picture frame. And I said, well, I have several of these at home. Why can't I do that on one of these? It stands up about the same. So
Thelma always thinking.
Thelma always thinking. So this is my first attempt. And basically all I did was
upside down.
My second attempt, my first attempt. And basically I just made it a half an inch wider than the frame. So whatever you were using for the front and back. And it goes together. This of course same process, same supplies, same. I just used what I had, so you could do it with the same 2 fat quarters, same amount of material. This would be easier because you've got instructions to sit down. This was a trial and error, and it took me several attempts for something I said, oh, that looks easy. It wasn't all that easy without instructions, so I highly recommend the pattern. But I just made it, and I thought when Joyce and I were talking, because we thought, well, that'd be neat to take to Quilt Retreat with us, and it has all of our stuff in it. So she said, why don't we make a cover over it? Have you thought about that? So I said, well, hadn't thought about it, but why not?
If you've seen us loaded for retreat, you know we need to cover it because we got a lot
carry
of stuff.
everything with us. We carry the house with us. So I just made this piece longer. It folded over. I actually just used a hair scrunchie little tie and a big button and folded that over it. It catches it. Now I can pack this away and it goes. This is the one that matches. We both have this fabric because this matches.
We're the
Hooters when we go to another retreat that we've been going to for 3 years. So, this matches our sewing
machine cover,
and
we have the table
cut,
caddy and all that.
We've got an
owl,
quilt and
banner.
And, it's just
we go over the top.
Yeah. So anyway, this matches. That's why we both have the same fabric. But it's very simple to make, and I made it. You can change what you do here. This pattern called for it to be sewn up all the way on all of this.
2 1/4 on each side.
On both sides to make 3 pockets. I didn't do that on this one. I did on that one. On this one I didn't. I just made my little pocket. And then this is open and it all the way down to this. And this top one is all the way open because I can put a pattern in here.
That's great.
Big ruler, all kinds of stuff. So I have lots of notions. I can't sew without having a bunch of stuff. I work in chaos. So this has helped a lot. So I recommend doing this.
They're really great.
And they're easy to do and easy to pack. And
they're really great because you're not crawling around on the floor. I have a bad knee, and every time something falls off, I'm like, oh, I got to get down there and get it.
Half my stuff's on the floor anyway.
Hello, Lalana. She's one of our
Hooter girls.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Dawn's
still calling.
Terry and I are part of a Facebook quilting group, and I've been in it, I think 3 years, and she's been in it 2 years. Each year they come up with a challenge. They could call it a number challenge, and this year you tell them a number, not knowing what you're going to get.
You have to pick a number 1 through
13
I think it was.
And so I picked number 6. She picked 8. And mine was a red, white, and blue quilt, and hers was to make an animal quilt not using a panel.
Yeah. And we don't know what we're picking. We just have to pick a number. And so after they cut off the number choice, then she tells us what we have to make.
What you've committed to.
Last year I had to make Dresdens, and I had never made Dresdens before, but it was fun. And
what was mine last year?
I don't
remember what mine was last year.
But I now love Dresden. So it's a good thing because it makes you venture
think
out
outside
and
the box.
Try something new. So, but this year, this is my quilt that I made my number 8. And my husband and I, we have a schnauzer named Molly. She's our 3rd schnauzer, actually. So we do love our schnauzers. But this is all applique. And I had been watching Dawn show here at on the lives the patterns for the whole country caboodle. And so she had a couple of schnauzers in the store. And so we looked online. I asked her, I said, do they have any more schnauzers? Because I had this in mind. And
it's each month.
This is all the months. I call it My Molly's Friends. And it's every month there's something,
Halloween,
fall, Christmas,
4th of July.
So I had to change. I could only get 5. That's all they make of schnauzer patterns. So I could only get the 5, but I got those. We ordered those 5. And then I just had to change it up and make different ones. You use your own background fabric. These come with everything you need.
Laser cut.
They're all laser cut. They already have the backing on them. They have a pattern inside that shows. That's one of mine, probably. Yeah. They have
messing your numbers up.
Yeah, they have a backing on them that's already adhesive, and that's where you would use the Teflon pressing sheet.
The one that I showed.
Just to say,
mine, number 10.
With them being laser cut, you don't have much of a film come off of the back of them when you're ironing. So I love this. I had more fun doing this, and it's, you know, a quilt. I'm hanging this in my sewing room, so that's where it's going to reside. But I recommend trying this if you like applique at all, or even if you're afraid of applique.
And you don't have to make a quilt. Just make it, put it on a block, and then make it into
a pillow. Yeah. But if you're afraid to try applique, you don't even have to applique around this. These stitch. Yeah, you don't have to stitch around them either by hand or with machine. Now, most of this I did with my machine. And
here's what they did with one.
Oh, how cute. Yep.
You can put it on a tea towel. You know, and then you get the bug and you don't want to make more.
Yeah, they have
and these aren't sewn
many,
around.
Yeah, so many patterns of different things. So besides mine, I changed mine up and just used different fabrics. But I thought I'd show some of the different animals they have here. So this is the cutest little Dalmatian puppy. There's red bandana, and if you're interested in it, they're $12.99, and it's mine 11.
Mine number 11.
Mine number 11. Which way do I need to go? See? Mine number 11. And this is Doberman Pinscher.
And like I was showing you a minute ago, it's all laser cut.
It's all laser cut. The collar,
the
designs inside that tells you
exactly
how to place each piece. And then you just layer after you're done, and you do it in pieces. So you would put
stages,
different stages. You put one piece down, and you'd iron it down, and then you come back, and it tells you to do the next one, and you iron it in place, so that they're stacked on top of each other, but it's all ironed down. And like I said, the adhesive was strong enough that I don't think
she didn't add any more, and she had it long arm quilted, and they didn't have any issue quilting through it at all.
Quilted right over.
As you can see, it's been quilted.
So this is the Doberman. It's $12.99, and it's mine 12. This is a Cocker Spaniel.
Where did the Cocker Spaniel go?
The Cocker Spaniel? There's several Cocker Spaniels that they have in different colors, but I just pulled this one's a buff color, and it's cute. Mine 13.
It's $12.99.
It's $12.99. And this one's got personality. This is a dachshund.
That way. Oops, wrong way.
This is a dachshund, and he's kind of off kilter there.
He's like, not me.
Not me. I'm looking around. I want to know what's going on.
Not me.
It's mine number 14. Where is that?
Everything's in reverse.
In reverse for us.
It's kind of like we're backing up over here.
And this is one of the ones I use. This is my black schnauzer, so it's mine 15.
He's right here. Whoop. The Easter egg. You can't hardly see him.
Can't see him.
He's the Easter egg.
But he's my Easter one. And all of these dogs are $12.99. I tried to find some cats, but there must be a lot of cat lovers because the cats were sold out.
Maybe there isn't as many cat lovers.
And there's other things besides the animals. I mean, they have just a ton of animals, and in a lot of them, they have, a different color, different style. This I thought was really neat. It is actually a table topper. For Christmas, it's away in a manger. And I thought, this is beautiful. So this would be a 27 by 27 table topper. This would go perfect on your round table. It's mine 16, and it is $17.99.
Donna, you do not have to sew around every piece. She did a blanket stitch on some of hers, but you don't have to. Like this one right here, it doesn't have any stitching around it. They pressed it onto this board. It doesn't have any stitching, of course, so you don't have to. With the Hotfix stuff on the back of it, it adheres to it.
And this is Hotfix adhesive if you want to cut, like I had to do because I couldn't get 12 different ones. So I just used Hotfix on the back of them, and it stays. I mean, Dawn has used this a lot too, she said, and she said she never has to sew around it, just stays and stays. So.
And that's mine number 19.
Yeah. Sorry, I got out of hook. The next one is
That was cute too.
chili time mug rugs. I thought were cute.
That's cute.
Aren't those cute? There's
Does it have the pieces in it?
No, I didn't look. I don't know.
I think you have to trace the pieces out yourself on that one.
Maybe. And 4 applique patterns. Yeah. Oh, and they have mug rug
The mug batting
inserts.
the
Yeah,
insert for
already cut out for it.
and it's
How
got
cute.
the heat treatment on it so that you can put it in there and it won't mar your wood furniture.
But this would be a great Christmas gift.
Yeah, very
you
good.
know?
And if you want the Bosel insert, just say a Bosel mug rug insert, and it's $7.99 for four of them.
So that would go with these because there's 4 patterns
Yep.
in this.
Yep.
And that's mine 17.
Yep.
And then this is the whole kit and caboodle. It's Rescue Friends. And it is, it has like a runner and a bench pillow, a pennant. It's got patterns for 10 appliques, but it has all the animals, cats, dogs. And it is mine number
cute.
18 for $21.99.
That'd be cute for a kid's room,
Uh-huh.
a nursery, to do the banner in the nursery with the different characters and
Babies,
make the
a
matching
baby
quilt.
Yeah,
Mhm.
baby quilt
That'd
or
be cute.
something cute, especially for, somebody that doesn't want to say pink or blue. They
Mhm.
want just to.
Or even more unisex.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so
That's cute.
that'd be great.
That's
So
cute.
it's mine 18. It's $21.99. And I already told you about the Hotfix.
Don't forget this month's sew and share. This is the monthly sew and share. Here, grab one in. It's a long table runner. It is August sew and show. Do mine S&S. I was trying to see the dimensions on it.
It's 60 inches long.
It's 60 inches long and about 12 and a half inches wide, it looks like. And it's mine S&S for sew and show.
It is $34.99 and the gift card is $40.
It's $34.99, and the gift card that you win at after the drawing, after it's over, is a gift card for $40.
And when you purchase the kit, it tells you how to post it, how to share it, and how to be entered in the drawing. You can share it up to 4 times, and all that's spelled out on this little card that you can't hardly see.
I love
Really
this.
quick one to put together.
Yeah, it's
Good
super
start.
fast and make a great gift if
Yeah,
somebody's got a
I
new
love
house
these
or
sunflowers.
housewarming.
As you can tell, see my phone? It's a sunflower.
Yep.
So I love that.
Look at mine.
Yep, more
Mine's
sunflowers.
Mine's a sunflower too. so we like
Sunflowers
that.
are in.
Okay. Next we're gonna do the.
You have a question?
What was the number for the mug rugs?
I think it was 17.
It's number 17. And then if you want the inserts, just say mug rug insert.
And then tell her that I'll call her tomorrow.
Okay, Marla, she will call you tomorrow. I'm gonna grab the bag down there.
I'm taking this home with me.
Janice Andrews is all to blame for all of this.
This is all
This
her
is
fault.
all her fault. She showed her ultimate travel bag, and I was like, okay, I got to make me an ultimate travel bag. So we have
And
the.
of course, if Louise makes one, Thelma's got to make one.
That's right. It is $9.99, and just say ultimate travel bag, and it goes together really quick. I had my pieces quilted as a flat piece and then just assembled it, and it went together super quick. We also have many of the colors of the zipper, and we can get colors that we don't have. So if you want the pattern and a zipper color, let us know. Mine ultimate, and then the zipper, what color you want.
And Janice is wanting ideas for classes, so bag classes. So if you're interested, you might let them know that you'd be interested in maybe doing an ultimate travel bag, and she gets enough interest in it. Who knows?
Yeah. It goes together really fast. I would recommend it be like a 2-session class, and you know, that way you can work on it in between and get it done. I did it in about, what, 3 days, I think it was. So yeah. And then,
But it was her first one too, so I think she did real well doing her.
and then I didn't want the,
And then the larger.
I didn't want the duffel bag to exactly match it so that I could kind of keep them apart. So it has the teal peacock color binding on it, and it is travel duffel bag 2, and it's $9.99. And it takes the same hardware and zippers. It's got a pocket in the front. It's got zippers here, little pockets on the side, and then the back on both of them actually has a trolley sleeve where you put your handle of your suitcase through it, and then pocket here to put like your passport or whatever. They're both super, super fun to make and go together super easy. Then I decided that wasn't enough. I wanted to make a purse, and so I made the Bowl Me Over. It's a purse. It's the bowling bag shape purse, and it's Bowl Me Over. That's hard to see. There we go. Bowl Me Over 2.0, and it's $9.99 as well. And it has like a front pocket with a magnet and zipper in the middle, and then inside of it, it has a mesh pocket on one side. Ignore all my shopping receipts.
Shopping receipts, hundreds of shopping receipts.
And then elastic pocket on this side, and then it's got a zipper pocket on the other side that has my car keys in it. So,
and surprisingly, these even full are lightweight.
yeah, it's very lightweight.
They look heavier than they are, but
Carmen Janice had her machine in her ultimate travel bag. I'm not sure. It was a Small Brothers machine, so I would think a featherweight would fit in the ultimate travel bag. It's nice dimensions. It is 13 3/4 high by 18.5 long by 8 inches at the very bottom, and it goes up to 4.5 at the top. So, I mean, it's very, very roomy inside. I have my jacket, quilted jacket. Why don't you show that? I mean, it's got I did, instead of a mesh, I went ahead and did a fabric pocket because I was afraid pulling stuff in and out on both sides being mesh that it would rip, snag the mesh. And then I did mesh on that side. And look, there's fabric in the bottom. Imagine that.
surprise.
This is my quilted jacket that I made. I had it in there in the bottom.
And if you're in the VIP group, you've seen photos.
Yeah, if you're in the VIP group, you've probably seen photos of all of it.
And if you're not, you should.
Yes, and if you're not in the VIP group, you should be. So, but any of the Buy Annie patterns, you can go out to the Buy Annie website, and there's multiple. This is just some of the ones that I've done. I also did the backpack that I didn't bring with me, but they carry them here. If you have one that you want that you see on their website, call up the girls and say, hey, I saw pattern so and so, order it in for me, and they'll get it in for you. So. All right, let's move on to some new fabric.
Do you see Dawn's comment here?
Yes, I'll teach a class. I'm already teaching 2 others, so that'll be the 3rd one. And I may be doing a 4th one because I've got another one today.
She's supposed to be retired.
I love to sew. What can I say? And stay busy. Okay, this is some new fabric they got in, and I should have got my glasses out while we were in my purse. This is called Fractional Flowers Art Loft. And when I saw this line, I was like, ooh,
a bag. First thing she said, ooh, a bag.
So when you see the rest of it, you'll see what will be the rest of it. So that is mine, number 21. It's like it reminds me of like a spirograph.
Exactly like a spirograph.
Like somebody took the spirograph. It is a Studio E fabric, which I like their fabrics a lot. And it is $12.99.
Oh, I put the wrong price. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
Mine $21, $12.99.
Ignore Cherie.
Yeah, ignore Cherie.
I had it right the first time, and then I changed it.
This is the one I fell in love with that's coming. Oh, pretty. Isn't that pretty? It doesn't show up as pretty on the picture as it is in person. It is just gorgeous. It's like a shaded, almost like not really a grunge.
It's
but
kind of got a grungy background, and then it's kind of got a petite,
like an ombre almost.
yeah, in the pattern. It's beautiful,
It's really
and it
pretty.
goes real well with these. It's
Yeah.
the same line studio.
50 viewers mentioned that they should all share so that a gift card can be $50.
We have 50 viewers tonight, so be sure and share. Everybody that shares, if you tune in next week, that'll be a $50 gift card for somebody.
And
comment that you've shared. Be sure and put down in the comments, I shared 2 times, I shared 7 times. Be sure and put that down in the comments, and then tune in next week at 7 o'clock, so you'll be entered in the chance to win it. This is number 22, mine, $11.99. Some of it's going home with me.
Did we leave this one out?
This is another one. It's just I was thinking, okay, the first one would be awesome for like a pocket on a bag.
Yeah, because it's a
fussy
fussy cut. Plus, it's already a square.
Yeah, and then make this the body of the bag
because it's the same spiral graphs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is beautiful. The pictures don't do it justice. It's really beautiful, and it's mine 23, $12.99.
I have to have some of that one.
You want that one? Okay, well, stick it over in that pile.
I think that one's mine.
Now you know how we always come here. If we don't get it tonight, we would have been coming next week. But since we're here, okay, this is the same fabric, just on a white background. Okay, Dorothy, be quiet. This is the same, but to me, on the white, it doesn't pop like it does on that ombre.
No, it doesn't, but it's still beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were doing a two-tone quilt, it would be gorgeous.
One of the patterns for By Annie is called a switchback, and it's like a patchwork front, and half of it's one fabric and half of it's the other, and I think the back of it's half and half.
Perfect. Half
and so
half.
This would be perfect, and you could pick out, like I like green and purple, so I'd pick out, like on this one, maybe the green and make the straps and the binding on it green. That'd be really, really pretty. Really, really pretty.
Because it pieces together on the flap in 4 quadrants.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have, offsetting
staggered
and design.
Yeah.
And that's mine 24.
Yeah,
for
and it's $12.99.
on the prize wheel, Whitney didn't get them loaded, so right after the video, she's going to run both prize wheels for
Okay.
last week and this week.
Cherie is telling us that Whitney didn't get the prize wheel loaded for last week and this week, and so she's going to run them after we're done, and she will post the results on both the Quilt Lady Facebook page and the Quilt Lady VIP Facebook page.
So be sure to check that.
So check back, make sure it's not you.
And then tease them a little bit about the fabric that Dawn bought.
Oh, when we first got here tonight, Cherie was telling us that Dawn was at market buying fabric
Not market, warehouse sale.
Warehouse sale. And
Janice was also mentioning.
yes, and so Cherie showed us a picture, and let us say they needed a U-Haul. So
We're going,
where are they going to put it?
lots of beautiful fabric
Yeah.
coming in
We
quickly.
zoomed in on that picture and like, oh, I like that one. I like that one. So yeah, I can't wait to touch and pet the new fabric.
Maybe we'll have another live tomorrow with all the.
There you go.
They're saying maybe a teaser tomorrow, and some of it. I don't think they're gonna that many. They're not gonna have unloaded tomorrow.
Yeah, we saw how much there was. That's going to take a while to
Who are
unload.
you kidding? That's not happening. Don't forget to share,
Yep.
and don't forget the sew and show. What did I do
And the
with it?
classes.
And the classes.
I think this is one of Janice's bags.
Yeah,
that
she's gonna do that class.
do a class maybe.
That's the
Yeah, so
that's
her
the
first
easy
one-
does it.
Is like an introductory bag class.
Yeah,
So if they aren't comfortable with bag skills, this
Yeah.
is the class.
Yeah,
to
this
take
This is
before
the
you
easy
get into the
does
hard
it.
stuff.
This was my first bag.
Mhm.
So, and I made 2. So,
And it gets you used to the techniques that they use, which
Mhm.
is doing the binding. This has the binding that, if you've never found anything other than a flat object. It's a little bit different doing a bag. And also how they do a zipper is a little bit different. All of this, that's what's so great about By Annie. All their seams are enclosed, and so it's all inside there. So there is a link to the bag making class, and like we said, this is the very, very basic bag making that gets you into the skills. And once you've done that, you're ready to do the ultimate travel bag or one of those other bags. The purse was a little bit harder. Maybe it was just me, but it wasn't. I did it in like a day and a little bit the next morning. But
I did this one, and there's a pattern called running with scissors, and it's to put all of your scissors in and your pins and all this kind of stuff, and it's like a binder. It folds and it zips all the way around. And I thought, oh great, I can take it to retreat. I told Joyce I was making it, and it was like, you're starting with that one. No, you can't do that one yet. It's done on my table except for the binding. So don't be afraid to try these.
I was afraid she was going to get discouraged. Yeah, so that was why it wasn't that I didn't think she could do it. It was I was afraid she was going to get frustrated and say, I'm not doing this. And she's already bought lots of supplies.
They're fun. Don't be afraid to do them.
Yeah, they're very, very addictive.
Start with something simple.
Mm-hmm. And they also have, you've made the old enough a few years back, but I love to do it in a class, much more fun. Yes. Any project is more fun. Yeah, that's what's so fun about going to retreat is, I was terrified of zippers, believe it or not. I don't know if Sherry's on. Is Sherry on tonight? I was terrified of zippers because I'd never, I'd made garments for years and years and years, but my garment making, I always avoided bottoms or anything that had a zipper in it because zippers terrified me. Well, Terry we have the same machine, and she found a Teflon foot that goes for both of our machines. And it's a real tiny, narrow foot. That bad boy saved my life because sewing on this purse, it has a magnet in it, and I was trying to be lazy and didn't change my foot, and I was going and the metal of my foot was sticking to the magnet, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And so I changed that Teflon foot, and it just went right away. But at retreat, our mystery project was doing the By Annie project bags, and that's kind of maybe we have Dawn to blame.
Yeah, we have to blame Dawn now that you think of it.
Yeah,
so Dawn, this is all your fault.
Yeah, thanks. Our addiction many dollars later.
Addiction. That's a good word.
We had to do a zipper, and we were all so flustered because we couldn't do a zipper. And Sherry was sitting behind me or kind of across from me, and she was gracious enough to come over and you can do it.
Yeah, we had a lot of support that day.
And that's the fun thing about retreat. Another instance was I've done mitered corners. Mitered corners. I've done mitered binding, but I had never done a mitered border where it's got to come right at the edge of the quilt. And so that was one of the things that we had Dawn do a demo on at retreat. And where, I could maybe call a girlfriend that quilts and say, how do you do it? But I'm one of those ones I need to see
hands on.
Yeah,
it's better.
And so it was better that I was able to see it. And so coming to these sit and sews, coming to a class, that's the benefit of it, because you get the expertise of not just yourself, but of everybody else around you. And, Terry has only been quilting for about 3 years, and I've learned a lot from her. And, we bounce ideas off of each other, and it's really helped to have somebody that has that interest.
And we have totally different taste in fabric.
Yeah, we never fight over the same fabric.
No, totally different.
It's funny, kind of a backstory, how we found the Quilt Lady, because like we said, I live in Moore, she lives in Oklahoma City, was a couple of years ago. We did the Road to Oklahoma shop hop, and the shop was one of the shops on the shop hop, and we came in and just loved it. We felt so welcomed, and just we were overwhelmed by all of the pre-cuts Dawn has in the shop. If you've not been in, she has more pre-cuts than anybody. And
pre-cuts in that photo of what she bought too.
Oh no, they're saying she had pre-cuts in there too. But
panels, the whole ceilings.
Yeah, panels, the whole ceilings panels.
Covered in panels in here to pick from.
Yeah, I think they have 50 some panels.
Oh, over 100.
Oh,
over
okay.
100.
Like 100 and
Yeah.
20?
Yes, Lalana, they are so knowledgeable. Yep. It's great. And, you know, and you have something.
128.
Oh, they have 128 panels. So, you know, and so we came in here.
I see a
And-
different one every time.
And we just loved it. And so that's kind of how we adopted them as our home base. And I'm not so sure they like it because we're kind of like a tornado when we come in, because it's like we're on a mission. And
We
like-
love you.
Oh,
We
you love
that
us.
You guys shop here.
Terry, like we said, she's looking for something and I'm looking for something totally different.
And we're all both asking questions at the same time, and they don't know which one to go. Which one? Okay, who do I help?
And I'm like, we're riding together, so just take care of us. So, yep.
We're chaos when we come in. So
Shirts. We didn't talk about t-shirts. They, as you see, oops, wrong direction. My whole wardrobe practically exists of Quilt Lady t-shirts. You can ask the ladies that sit and sew. They see a different one every week. But here are some of the different styles. They can be put on different colors. They have black, dark gray.
my basic one is black.
Black,
like
dark
8.
gray, light gray, aqua, canvas red, royal blue, sea green, raspberry, magenta, and lapis. And then sizes small through 5XL. And the placement can be on the front and back. Some of mine I had put on the front, and some of mine, the big design on the front. And then, so this one has the big design on the back, and vice versa. And I changed mine up just so, and before I cut my hair all off, you couldn't see the ones on back, but now you can. So now you can see them. So if you want a shirt, sizes small through 2XL are $19.99, and 3XL is $20.99, 4XL is $21.99, and 5XL is $22.99. And just tell them what size, what color shirt, and what design. And the designs are also out on the website, because I know this picture is very hard to see. So
I thought about trying to pull the boards down, but I'm not tall.
yeah. So they're all out on the website, and I can only see a couple that I don't have.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I have all but 2.
Yeah, I don't have the
That's all I wear anymore. Is
I don't have the
t-shirts.
VW one, and I don't have the Road to
I have the
Oklahoma ones.
VW.
Wow.
I have it on the back of one of mine. I have the heartbeat across the front and VW on the bus on the back.
Ooh.
We don't have to always
Ooh,
match.
fancy.
Thelma. Yes, and as Cheryl's reminded me, with your shirt on, you get a 10% discount on your purchase. So we always get a discount because we always have a shirt on.
Yeah,
So, but yeah.
And if you aren't local, you can also just like
Yeah.
take a selfie, post it, and like send me a screenshot.
There you go.
If
Such
you're
a deal.
not local, I don't know if you heard Cherie. If you're not local, you can take a picture of yourself in this shirt and text it or send it to Cherie
When
at
you order.
quilt-lady.com, and she will get the email and give you the credit.
Yep.
So we're not going to be able to spin the wheel. So don't forget. I don't know probably how long is it going to be before she'll post it.
It's probably going to be later tonight.
Okay, so check back later tonight. And if it's not there later tonight, check in the morning. Like I said, check on the Quilt Lady Facebook page and also the Quilt Lady VIP page to see. Anything else you want to say?
Had fun, guys.
We appreciate y'all
We're
inviting
glad
us
y'all
to
joined
guest
us.
host.
Thank you, Don and Bill,
Yep,
for
thank you.
having us. Thank you, Cherie, for
Yep.
putting up with
Yep.
us.
Yep. It was a lot of fun. What wasn't as chaotic as we thought. So a lot goes into it. Those of you watching, you don't realize, building the charts, picking the stuff, getting it all in order, putting the numbers together. So Don and Bill and Cherie and the team, they knock it out of the park every week to execute. There's a lot of places that wouldn't do it. So
We appreciate
Yeah.
you guys.
thank you for joining us. We appreciate everybody watching. How many watchers do we have right now?
We're at 52 right now.
We're at
Yoo-hoo!
52
I think
viewers.
I saw a spike at 54 with our highest.
Okay, we had 54 at our highest. So remember, to win, you got to tune back next week. So tune back in next week, 7 o'clock. I'm not sure who's going to be back. Is Dawn going to be back? Hey, Kathy Z.
Janice Andrews is hosting.
Ah,
it.
Janice
Woo,
Andrews.
Janice. Woo.
Thank you, honey. Thank you, Janice. Thank you, Jan.
Thank you.
We've enjoyed it.
We
Thank
had
you.
fun.
Thank you.
Everybody enjoyed your show.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Janice will see you next week.